Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is another beautiful day for baseball, and it's contest drawing day. There's all kinds of stuff happening today. I couldn't do this by myself. I had to ask my guy to come back, man. We have so much fun talking baseball. Why not do it again? Sharpie's in the house. What's up? Welcome back. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing all right. Only had one bet yesterday. Kind of pissed off at myself that I gave some of the money back, but another day, bro. And I like these spots. I like these spots.
We got one. So this is a true story. So about 20 minutes ago, a half hour ago, my guy called me because we always talk every day, and we both had the same thought because we're talking about a pitcher. Is actually gonna be the first one we talk about. I was going to talk about him. Sharpie was going to talk about him, and we both had the exact same thoughts. So I'm like, oh, you got to come on. We got to talk about this dude. So you'll hear about and I don't think it's who you think it is. It's not a lefty. So I won't spoil it, but it's not a lefty because I know where everybody was going. It's like it's a certain lefty going. We are going to talk about him, but that's not who. But that's not who we got in this spot. But anyways. Business out of the way first. This is brought to you on behalf of the Daily Bread Network on YouTube. And please, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to that. It helps you get access to all of our content that we put out. Follow me at Spin Doc Sports. If you're following me, you damn well better be following my guy at Sharpie's Bets. And also, please subscribe to his YouTube channel, The Odds Bunch, because tomorrow we'll be on again talking about 6 pitchers on a Friday Super Show. So please, if you follow me, if you subscribe to Daily Bread, follow all my guys' stuff too. Like the video, share it. We really do appreciate the love. Sharpie, I know you said you had one yesterday. I had 3. I did stub my toe a little bit with Luzardo and the under. Did take it, and I'll eat some crow on that one. I think what it really taught me, and I told VIP this yesterday, is that the Cubs on the road are probably just not going to be a spot that I can look at for an under. Cubs at home, yeah, that's a different story. But Cubs on the road, especially Cubs in daytime games, because they've had some really, really horrendous swinging performances for daytime games. Because even guys like Nico Horner, I mean, I knew we were dead. I'll be honest. I knew we were dead when Luzardo threw literally 3 of the exact same pitches, sweeper low and in to Nico Horner, the 90%, 70% chase contact guy, and he just whiff, didn't even touch him. As soon as that happened, even though that was only his 3rd strikeout, I'm like, nope, we're dead. The other 2 that we had for VIP did cash. Lodolo, we actually came up with it on the air. So once that trash ass lineup came out, that was easy. That was so easy. And I also in the afternoon we cashed Brian Woo's under.
That was easy, bro. Thank you. I needed that one.
So simple.
I needed that one.
That was it just 7 out of 9 guys with above average zone contact, and the dude just will not pitch outside the zone. He just won't. He just doesn't do it. So it's just always zone all the time. So anyways, 2-1. And anything else that you noticed from yesterday? Like Mr. Robbie Ray, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, man. I texted you at the 2nd inning, and I'm like, bro, are you watching this game? And you're like, yeah, kind of. I got way too much money involved in the NBA right now. And I was like, all right, bro. I was at work, so I turned the game on the radio, and Man, oh man, could that dude's slider not be thrown anywhere near the strike zone? He was throwing 65% fastball when he's normally 48%. He didn't realize until the fourth inning to chuck his slider away. And he had no shot from the get-go, and the books knew it. And I mean, I'll talk about it till I'm blue in the face. If they don't give a Rockies tax, you need to pay a fuck attention. And one thing I forgot to mention on this show yesterday that I talked to about him earlier, I'm like, bro, it's the side-on-side slider that does work in Colorado. Righty, righty, lefty, lefty. There was only one lefty in that lineup yesterday. And no, wait, he got scratched. There was 0 lefties. Not scratched. They put him down finally because he sucks.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, guys, the books knew something by putting plus money on a spot that it should have been minus 150 to the over. And even you text me, they're like, bro, there's 6.5 minus 150s out there. And I'm like, I don't know. I text my guys like, no.
Stay far away.
No. And you know what? Sometimes I'd rather be wrong than right. You know, it's okay if I don't make the money on that, bro, but we got to pay attention. And I thought that Luzardo line was nowhere near right. It just didn't seal right with me at all, bro. And I've got to stick to that type of shit, bro. Because even if I'm wrong, I'd rather be just not put my money on it, bro.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I've done these lines in the past and it's worked out. And I've took the top 10 average, and then I'll go with it from the past history, and I'll take the K percentage. And if the books don't pay attention to it, we don't pay attention to it.
Yep.
Like we're going to talk about later.
Oh, yes. All right. That was pretty much all that I had from yesterday. There wasn't a whole lot else. I mean, the rest of the pitchers were just kind of like run-of-the-mill guys that I didn't really have a whole lot of interest in. But we do have 3 pitchers to talk about today. And as I said at the end, I already posted a screenshot of it. I have the wheel ready. We got over 250 entries in this drawing. So thank you all for that love, for the posts, for the shares, for the likes, the reposts, all of it. I got you all in. Got people in there that are got some people that are in there a bunch of times. And we will draw 10 names for VIP at the very, very end. But let's if there's anybody we don't cover, please shout it out in the chat. Adam's Digest, welcome in, saying 2 goats. Thank you, my friend. And saying the Senga number looks kind of fishy. Well, funny you should mention that, Adams, because Kodai Senga is the first pitcher striking guys out at a 23.7% clip, walking guys at a 10.9% clip. He gets the Nationals at home today at 1:10 p.m. And the number is a little interesting at a juice to the gills, minus 145 and climbing. This opened at about a minus 135. It is climbing even before the lineup comes out, which is a point to pay attention to. And we have a plus money under 5.5 against a team striking out to righties about 21% of the time, and actually a bunch of guys that are under league average in the high teens. So Sharpie, kick us off. Why is Kodai Senga juiced like this?
All right, man, let's talk a little Senga. Let's just be real, guys. I track everybody's lineups, and I try to find metrics that work. And if we talk about Senga's metrics, you would think if you chase, then you're freaking screwed because his chase contact is like some of the top, and that's what I use with other guys. Well, it don't work with him, guys, because he's had multiple lineups where like, okay, 7 chase, he don't get there. Okay, so what is it? So I tracked every damn metric across the board in these lineups, and I couldn't find a damn thing that matched up and pointed the way. Now, that one thing that has pointed the way, and I've lost 1 bet now on Senga, and I've just bet what the books tell me to fucking do. And right now, guys, the books are screaming for you to bet the under. So right now it tells me it's over or nothing. He's a juice to the gills 5.5 versus a team striking out 18% of the time and a past history of 5 strikeouts in 40, or is it 34 or 44 at bats?
44.
44 at bats, guys. This right here is like, oh shit. So sometimes I dig and dig and dig, and sometimes I'll find out the reason that the book see. Sometimes I don't. When I've taken my unders with him, I don't understand it, but I get what the books are doing, and I know they don't give out free money. So I go through his home road splits. And I'm like, well, first I looked at his regular splits, lefty versus righty. I'm like, okay, we got 8 lefties in this lineup today. How does he do versus lefty? I'm like, oh, shit. He's worse versus lefties than righties. He's striking out lefties at a 22.7% compared to 24.8 versus righties this year. Well, I've talked about the juice that Senga gets from being at home, and I've learned that from DeGrom. That was the first person I ever picked it up on. On 2 strikes in New York, everybody is cheering for death. 40,000 fans are involved in the game, asking for it, and he rewards them with it. This year versus lefties at home, he's striking out lefties at a 31.3% clip compared to 24% of the time. So at the end of the day, guys, when we have Senga, who's at a 5.5 juiced, and if we go look at what he's done over his last 10, he's hit that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That doesn't equate to juice on it. That equates to plus fucking 110 money on the 5.5. This line is off by a strikeout or 2, and they're begging for you to bet the under.
Yep. Same thing I saw too. And just a couple things to add here is that if I asked you when they get ahead of batters, what pitcher has the highest strikeout percentage who is going today, you probably would say the guy we're going to talk about next who's out in Baltimore. It is not him. It is Kodai Senga. When he's ahead of hitters, he strike at any point in the count, he strikes them out at 54.5%. Now, you might also I might also ask you, who has the highest discrepancy between getting ahead of hitters and when they're behind? It's Kodai Senga. He strikes guys out, and this is a real number, 9% when he gets behind. 54.5 versus 9. I have yet to find a pitcher that is worse, has a bigger split than that. So the question then becomes with this Nationals lineup is that what are we going to get with this when it comes to getting that first pitch strike? Because that is a huge key for Senga, and that's why patient teams typically he doesn't get strikeouts against. If you go back and look at some of his splits during the year, including this same Nationals team, St. Louis is another one who doesn't chase. He got 4. The Athletics are another one who don't chase. He got 4. Then the Dodgers are another one who have a number of guys who don't chase. He got 5. And then even though he didn't hit his number, the Rockies have ample chase in their lineup, 7 and 6. The Diamondbacks had over half their lineup that chased when he got him at home. He got 6. It is just so tried and true because 54.5% K percentage when he gets ahead. Now we go to the Nationals lineup, which right now, as my guy already talked about, the lefty-righty split. I won't harp on that. But right now, of these guys, if this is the projected lineup, all of these guys chase and all of these guys have a high first pitch swing percentage. Abrams, Bell, Ruiz, Hassel, Garcia. So you have and you also have a few guys that chase about league average that also have a high first pitch swing percentage. So you have the potential for 2/3 of this lineup for this man at home with what my guy just said to put themselves in in pitchers counts where he is just absolutely lethal. So if this is the lineup that we're going to get, even if Ruiz is in the lineup, even if you have some of the guys that he has very, very poor past history against, like Abrams is 0 for 8, Josh Bell 1 for 9. I mean, we already talked about the past history. This line is screaming at you to not bet the over. They want you to take a plus money under. They want you to be on that. I also looked and I also saw that Senga's outs, which normally are a 17.5 with relatively similar juice, or even lower are at a 17.5 with absurd juice on the over. And so you might be thinking, okay, well, is it because of past history? No, it's really not, because while he's averaging 17.4 outs recorded over his last 10, 18 and 19 of his in his last 2, that's against the Rockies, where you get taxed for it. So you look at some of his other performances, and if you take those 2 out, now you're down in the 16s, in the low 16s, actually, low to mid 16s. And we got a 17.5 against a team he's never struck out that well at absurd, like minus 182 is the best number. They're actually on FanDuel has it at minus 215 on over 17.5 outs. You also have his hits, which are heavily juiced at 4.5 on the under. This is the same line that he had against Arizona when he went out and just smacked them, when he went out and just torched them. Same thing with earned runs. It's hovered between a 1.5 and a 2.5. It's at a 1.5 at a very bettable price on both sides. They're saying Kodai Senga smacks the shit out of the Nationals today. So if this is what the projected lineup is, we're still going to wait on the lineup. We're still going to be use our caution, but this is an over or nothing spot. Sharpie, I know we said I know we both saw the same thing. So anything else to add?
Yeah, real quick, just on the books pointing the way on Senga. First game versus Arizona is when I bet him. It was 5.5 minus 150 to the over. And he had terrible pass history versus a team not striking out. Had 6 that game. Next games, the books dropped him on a back-to-back. We know the books don't do that. It was a 4.5. He ended on 4. Next game was versus Pittsburgh. Team not striking out 18% of the time. And he was juiced. No, he got flipped to a 6.5. Like for no fucking reason. But he went and got 7, so it wasn't for no reason. And then it was Boston and the Dodgers where they didn't mess with the lines. Colorado, he got the Rocky tax. He still ended 1 short. And then they dropped him on a back-to-back. So the 4 times I've cashed are the 4 times following the damn books, guys. It's just that simple with Senga.
I like it. So we're gonna wait for the lineup. We shouldn't have to wait too long because it's an early afternoon game. So if they're going to give us as many lefties, if they're going to give us 5+ who chase, and this line stays where it is, this is a pretty easy overlook. So speaking of overlooks, let's talk Tarek Skubal. Tarek Skubal, lefty. I mean, I could go through all numbers upon numbers. You all know how good this man is. I mean, Cy Young and then some. Striking guys out at 33.4%. Walking guys, I just have to stop. Even though we all know it, this is just freaking absurd. 2.2%. He is walking guys. Normally, if you have that low of a walk percentage, your strikeout percentage is like 21 or like 22, not 33. It's absurd. He gets the Orioles at 635 on a moving day. He got him on a moving day last time. Remember what happened. And as it should be, the line is an absurd juiced over 7.5 at minus 150. All right. So first off, with the Orioles in general and with Skubal, that's just a no under island combo platter. So under's not an option here. So we'll take that off the table. There in no world is this an under. Now, on the peripherals, we have a few things working for us before I get into the numbers. The first thing is we have Ron Kulpa behind the plate. Ron Kulpa is not Bill Miller, but he's close, averaging 17.5 strikeouts per game over the last 3 years that he's umpired, which is about almost a strikeout and a half over umpire average. And umpire average for walks is about 8.5%, and it is only 8 for him. So he is a pitcher's umpire. He's had some gaudy totals, and he's got a wide strike zone. That just plays right into our hands for today because Skubal, as I've said many times, and Sharpie, I know you said many times, he lives in the zone, 57.3%. It's one of the highest in the league. And he also has an absolutely ridiculously stupid zone contact allowed, 72%. Are you freaking kidding me? Guys that spend this much time in the zone average normally what you see for zone contact allowed is like 82.5 to 86. So this guy being down at 72 is just ridiculous. Now, You go down the Orioles projected lineup, and I'm stressing projected because they've done this before on a moving day against Scooble when I seriously think that they just thought, well, fuck it, we're not going to win the game anyway, so let's just give some guys some at-bats, and he obviously just absolutely destroyed them. 4 lefties, 5 righties. I'm not sure if this is going to be the final lineup composition. It doesn't really make a difference because the only guys in this lineup that could even make me think that well, maybe I'll give some pause here and either take them down or just throw it out the window and just pass on it would be Adley and Westberg. Adley, because he's got a ridiculously good strikeout percentage against lefties at 19%. He also has a 91.8% zone contact, which is one of the best in baseball. Scooble's never faced him before. He swings at a decent rate in the zone. Even for Scooble, can he get him? Sure, but he'd be tough to get. Westberg, you also have to give Westberg credit because he's got pretty good zone contact, only strikes out to lefties at 23-1. And the other thing is he doesn't whiff that much to a changeup, 31.6%, which, I mean, it's Scooble's changeup has almost a 50% whiff rate. So yes, he could. So I got to put him for a half. So let's get those 2 out of the way. Now let's talk about all the rest of them. Every single other one of them can strike out, and half of them could strike out multiple times. You have Holiday projected to lead off. His strikeout percentage against lefties this year is 45.2%. He's had problems with it for multiple years, lefty versus lefty. He also has an under league average zone contact rate. I would be shocked if he doesn't strike out. You have Laureano, who has a 77.4% zone contact, has already struck out 6 times in his career against Scooble. You think he's going to put the ball in play every time? Nope. Then it just gets better and better and better because you have Cowser and Mayo in the 7 and the 8 hole. Now, I don't know if Cowser is going to be in and they go lefty-lefty here, but I really hope that they do because both of them have 34.1 and 41.7% K percentages against lefties, respectively. Both of them are under 80% for zone contact. And Cowser has, and this is a real number, over the last few years, a near 60% whiff rate to a changeup. Both of these are 1+. And then finally, at the end, if they do bat Carlson, which I'm assuming that they will because he's a switch hitter, he does swing a ton in the zone, but makes contact under 80% and has already Scooble's gotten him 3 out of 7 times. What all this adds up to is this adds up to 8 easily. And this is with Adley Rutschman. So yeah, it's juicy. Yeah, it's up there. But if this is the projected lineup, this is for sure an over or nothing. The other thing that the guys that you want in this lineup, if you're looking at waiting till lineups come out, as we always recommend you should, is you want Holiday, you want Laureano, you want Cowser, and you want Mayo. If for some reason Adley Rutschman is not in this lineup, there's not a single guy that they could put in that would potentially get me off A+. This is just an absolutely horrendous matchup for the Orioles, and they have 6 of 9 in their projected that are under league average in zone contact. They also have everybody except for Carlson and Holiday a little bit, but really everybody except for Carlson is swings at or below league average in the zone, which is where Scooble lives. When Scooble gets ahead in the count, his strikeout percentage is 47.2%. I mean, I could just go on and on, but we don't have that much time on the show. So you all already know what to do here. Sharpie, go ahead.
Yeah, you said zone contact. The only thing I'm a beg to differ a little bit is I'm gonna say fucking Westberg goes down for sure. That's where I'm at on this guy. I look at his zone contact career wise. I've looked at the lefties they faced this year. I look what he did to lefties last year. He struck out a third of the time with a 43% whiff to a changeup last year. He's got 300 plate appearances, and the only lefty they've seen this month is Mackenzie fucking Gore. Yeah, and they're ass. Like, we already know this team is fucking ass. And then you brought up the zone contact. Even if Westberg, we're going to say he's good. You said 6'3". That gets me the biggest boner in the world when you say 6-3 zone contact to the over. This man is 7-1 when he's faced a lineup with 6 people that had bad zone contact, and he averages 9.3 in those wins. 9.3. I don't think they can give me a lineup really. Now that we're talking about it, I'm probably going to just fucking go in right now after the show and put my bet in. But I don't think there's nothing they can do to get me off. Now, I did compare their lineup last time when they faced them. They were striking out 25% of the time, walking league average with a 0.6 ISO. They have a 0.8 ISO now. I mean, I guess they gotten a tad bit better. They're still the second worst team hitting lefties. They're still striking out near 24% of the time. And now they get the best lefty in fucking baseball. It's over, and over for me right here.
I like it. Just a couple additions. People joining the chat. Shout out to Roger. I put it up before. Let's slay these K props. I agree. Low Sports Picks. Thank you for reposting the stream. Appreciate it, my guy. Cover King saying, yeah, we talked about it. Lodolo and Ray both got smashed, but Lodolo is example 1A of how strikeouts and a pitcher's performance are not always tied together, because a pitcher can go out and get his Ks and get the living shit kicked out of him. And that's exactly what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. All right. Cover Kings is on Scooble. Yep. I totally get it. Totally get it. Lucas R saying the K goats, appreciate it. And thank you for joining. Mo saying doing a show naked is on another level, bro.
Hey, bro, my t-shirt costs more than anything in your closet, big dog. This thing ain't cheap, boy.
And this is a good segue. Eric, welcome in. Good morning to you. Any thoughts on Birdsong? As a matter of fact, we do. Hayden Birdsong, the righty, striking guys out at 24.7%, walking guys at 9.3% at 3:10 p.m. Eastern today. He's out in Colorado with a plus money 5.5 and a pretty heavily juiced under 5.5. This is my guy's pitcher that he was going to talk about. So I'm going to mute myself and listen and learn. Have at it.
I mean, we get a 5.5 right now for the first time this year on Birdsong. Why? Because we get the Colorado tax, which wasn't there with Ray yesterday. Something we got to pay attention to. So if the tax is there, we can look to get in. And we already know, if you've watched me or heard me or even spin, have you ever pitched in Colorado before? Yes or no? Yes, he has. Last year, he had maybe the game of his fucking life as he went out there and torched the freaking Rockies. Let me pull up the stat where he did that game. He had 12 strikeouts in 6 innings, like literally the game of his life in the Rockies. All right, cool. Let's go look at his pitch mix. And we see that the guy throws pretty much 4 pitches, 4-seam slider, changeup, curve. And the slider, it breaks in all different types of places, guys. But it breaks to the right-handed side. Like we talked about earlier on the show, you want a right-handed versus right-handed slider, as it's going to put more vertical tilt to it. You don't want to throw it across your body to a lefty, as it's not going to break, as Robbie Ray had all righties yesterday. Throwing a slider into a righty from the left-handed side is not going to work in Colorado. We've got a right-handed pitcher who is throwing heavy fastball slider right now. Granted, it's early in the season, but his 2 pitches, his out pitches, his slider and his changeup are the 2 pitches that I want in Colorado, guys. And Birdsong right now, he's my little mini Taj Bradley. Now, I like to call him that because I put all the lineups on one page and I try to find the metric that works. And this guy is he's a headache at times. He's a thrower of the baseball and not a pitcher. This guy doesn't trust his stuff yet, so can overthrow all the time. He can walk the bases loaded at any given moment. But if he's got some chase or an umpire, that's going to help this man, guys, because he is erratic at times. Now, this guy is a guy, as these throwers of a baseball, I'm only taking shots with. I'll only put $50 on these guys because they have not perfected their craft yet, and I'm not trying to unload on a kid. Now, this is a spot where I may mini ladder the guy because they are projecting 8 righties. And like I said, the slider plays to righties. And there's only 2 people in this projected lineup that are dead spots. We talk about it all the time with Colorado, is Estrada and Freeman. Cool. That's fine. The rest of this team is ass and very pick-onable, and I expect to pick on this guy today, guys. So it's Birdsong Day today. I'm not scared.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I couldn't. Like I said, he's not a guy that I study very heavily. So I was just going to listen, and I was going to listen.
I bet him last week, and like I said, how he's like Taj is. I just do the whiff, man. I run the whiff, and if it's there, it's there. It was there versus Atlanta. He got there. Was it ugly? Fuck yes, it was, and that's why I'm only putting 50 on this kid, is because there's times it's going to be really freaking ugly out there with this guy if he can't find the zone. But we know this Colorado team chases, and if you're going to just help this guy a little bit, you're fucked today. Now, he does throw a curveball, but it's his least thrown pitch. I hope he goes fastball, slider, changeup. But even last year when he dominated him, his curveball was his most used pitch. So that tells me that his curve may actually play in here. So Birdsong to the moon, guys, and maybe even look for a ladder spot.
I like it. I like it. Nicholas Handy joining us. Thank you. And shout out. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. All right. Other looks, sides, and totals. It's a short slate today. I will be totally honest, from a money line perspective, there is nothing that appeals to me. The only thing that's even somewhat remotely appealing are the Cardinals. That's at minus 129 is the best line I could find. That's okay. You know that I don't give out. It's plus money or nothing, or very lightly juiced. Minus 129 for a road team, though, still not my favorite. From a totals perspective, Yankees and Royals over 9, I think, has some value, as does if you're going to play the Brewers and Cardinals, I think that the under 8 or even under 7.5 you can go has a little bit of value, maybe even a first 5 under there. I think that personally, I think that Sonny Gray, I'm not so convinced one way or the other on his strikeouts, but I do see some things in the line that says hope that they probably have a better start than like a strikeout start. And then that's kind of it. It's a short slate today. So Sharpie, anything else you're looking at or anything else that you got?
We have to talk about him. I send you the picture of him. The Brewers are calling up their top pitching prospect, number 66 overall in the league, guys. And is it the day to ride him? Fuck, could it be versus anybody but the fucking Cardinals? That's all I want to fucking, like, gosh, dang it, bro. So this guy, guys, was touching 103 miles per hour late into a last start out in the 6th inning, I believe, was still touching triple digits. He averages triple digits on his fastball. Now, like all young kids, control is their problem, and control comes later on in life. But this guy has 2 pitches that grade out as elite and 2 other pitches that are ready for the MLB now. I may be looking to back the Cardinals team total under. I know Skeens is another guy who throws high velocity, but this Skeens pounds the zone. This guy can be erratic at times, and the Cardinals can chase. If you fucking open up versus this guy, he's got too many deadly weapons. So as crazy as it sounds, it's over. Nothing at a 4.5. But I may be looking at the earned runs under first 5. But the thing about that too is, I gotta say it is, I like rookies making their first start at home. The butterfly effect is fucking real, guys. You take your warm-up bullpen pitches, and now you go sit in the dugout for 15 minutes. Hopefully, Sonny Gray gives them a quick inning. And while you're sitting, you've got butterflies just roaring. And this is your MLB start. The world is watching you. Your whole family's here. You're expected to be that dude. Not saying you can't be, but I like a guy going straight to the bullpen, to the fucking mound, and at least he's ready to go right there, and the butterflies are at least calm. So him being on the road, I want to see him get out the first inning, and man, oh man, it's going to be fun to watch him. Oh no, I'm on a full screen. Well, I guess Spin Doc had to go and do something, but I'll talk a little bit about the next guy on the board. We ain't talking about no other guys, so anybody in the chat want to talk about something? We'll Spin get some stuff going. I see Cover Kings is on Scooble. Like I said, bro, you probably got in last night at the minus 125. I'll pay the juice. But it's one thing I don't think I need lineups. What are they going to do? I think Rivera is going to be put in. Okay, he strikes out. And if they put Sanchito, good old Gary walking fucking strikeout in for Rochman, oh Lord, this might move to an 8.5. Now, if you want the Scooble, like what I'm getting at is we got to get in now, guys. The line's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse if certain other people are put in. There's nobody thoughts. I see Kenneth K asking, any thoughts on Warren? Warren is a guy freaking Spin Doc has been all over, guys. I don't bet Warren personally. I'm not a guy who tries to bet every guy. It just doesn't work for me. What I like to do is just bet on dogs. And I know he looks at the lefty matchup, though, when he's talking Warren. I know he struggles versus lefties. So you want a lefty dominant lineup when you're facing that guy. So Warren's facing Kansas City, and they're projected to throw a bunch of lefties at the end. So that is a good question to ask him, because Kansas City is a very good contact team. And there's 5 lefties. So that's definitely what you want, at least 5 of them. Sharpie, what is the worst Colorado pitcher in your opinion? Oh my Lord, what's the worst? Like starting pitcher? Because dang, bro, I don't know which one's good. That's the damn problem, bro. Is you're gonna get some good games and some bad games, and more often than not, bad games. But I guess it would be Kyle Freeland up until this year, because that dude had a top 6 ERA. He actually got some Cy Young votes last year, so he's just not having that year this year, as he got pummeled again last night. Can you give out your top 3 pitchers again if possible? Right now, I'm waiting on Spin. I think he probably got kicked off, so I'm just here rambling on about baseball. I'll talk baseball all day if you got questions, but there's only 3 guys I'm even looking at, and it's the 3 guys we talked about on Spin Show today, and that's Scooble over, and that's strictly on the zone contact. There is 6 projected, and it could only get worse. And when he's faced 6 guys or worse with zone contact, he's averaging 9.3 strikeouts in the 7 wins that he's had to this 1 loss. Warren's outs are at a -110 for under 15.5. Not bad. So, yeah, what's his outs normally at? That's something we can compare it to. We could pull that up. I like to look at Covers MLB. They'll give you their last 10 on their props, as long as it's not a pitcher that was traded. So Max Fried, he was traded, so we can't get his props for some stupid reason. Luzardo got traded to the Phillies this year, so we don't get his props. So Warren's been on that, so it'll give us his last 10 history. No, that's great. They're not giving a shit for his props. So it'd be nice to know what they've put him at over his last 10 to see if they're dropping him or how the books are telling us that it's going to be done. Kodai Senga, Quentin. Is that Quentin? I wonder if that's my Quentin, but either which way, Kodai Senga, the books are screaming, please bet the under, as he has only 5 strikeouts and 44 at bats. He has only hit 6 strikeouts in 4 of his last 10. That equates to a +110. If you add in the past history and how they're playing, this should be a 4.5 -150. No, we got a 5.5 heavily fucking juiced. So that tells me it's over or nothing. The 4 times I have won this year with Senga has been following the books in those type of situations. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Spin Doc right now is having some internet issues. Smash the like button if you haven't. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. Yes, I am still on. He goes, my internet fucking cut out. Workers outside laying cable. I don't know if I got to do this all day, bro, but I ain't doing this all day. 7 on the road, under 15.5. 7 pounds, 7 left on base. No. What other games are going today? Valdez is going today versus the White Sox. That's a spot that I was maybe looking at taking a team total under, but I mean, am I going to get a 3.5? Probably not. Am I willing to back Valdez in this spot where they have his juice? -160 right now on the over 6.5. And that's on FanDuel, where, yeah, 7.5 is at DraftKings. And if we tell you about this over and over, guys, FanDuel is the sharper book. And not saying they're right all the time. It's just saying that's something you should pay attention to while you're capping these K props. So Valdez, guys, has hit 7 strikeouts in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50% of the time of his last 10. The White Sox, over their last 15 days versus right-handed pitching, let's pull that part up. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So a lot of people also ask too, like, where do you guys do your stuff? I use Fangraphs. I use StatCast. I use Covers MLB, and I use Swishers. I think it's Swishers, right? Swish Bets Analytics Swishers. Don't smoke Swishers, fellas. But those are the 4 main things that I use. And Fangraphs, I like to do right-handed batters by 15 days. And then I like to do left-handed batters by 200 plate appearances, 15 days minimum to a month maximum. And then when we go look at, who are we looking at? The White Sox versus lefties. Over their last 200 plate appearances, we just went 15 days right now. That's only 80 plate appearances. They are smashing the ball in that time span, but like I said, I need at least 200 plate appearances, as that's what works for me. The White Sox are striking out, it looks like. Okay, they're not walking 6% of the time, striking out 25.5% of the time with a top 2 isolated power. So it says they're smashing the fucking baseball. And as always, that's when I like to say, who the fuck have you seen in that time span that I would bet on? So what I would do is, then I go to Score. I guess that's the other app I use, is I'll use Score app just to check their schedule, past schedule. It's easier for me to click on. It's been easy. So I go to the White Sox schedule and I go through their last month and I see, who have you faced? You faced the Royals. You didn't get Raggins. You faced Detroit. Did you get Scooble? I don't think so. You didn't get Scooble, because I would have remembered that one. Orioles don't have a lefty I'd bet. Mets, they didn't get Peterson. Rangers, they didn't get nobody I'd bet. Mariners, nobody I bet. Cubs, showed us on the freaking IL. And then they got the Reds, where Abbott shut them out. And then I believe Lodolo, I can pull Lodolo's game log up right here because I got that here. Lodolo went Raggins, Luzardo, Lodolo versus the White Sox. I only got strikeouts there. I believe he gave up 3 earned runs. So what I came to the conclusion of yesterday when gambling was just a bunch of bullshit Sharpie did sometimes, guys. So sometimes I want to kick myself, like betting the team total under yesterday with his K prop and giving some of my money back, but I shouldn't have. And I've come to the conclusion Lodolo's not a dog. He's just not. He's a solid number 3, but he's not a dog. When he's gotten hit by teams where my dogs have shut him down, guys. So what I'm getting at is these numbers are as fraudulent as they come. They haven't seen a lefty I would bet on in the last month. And they've all been versus middle of the rotation versus shithole type pitchers, other than Andrew Abbott, who went out there and shut them down. Now, it is his second time facing this team, as the last time Valdez faced him was May 2nd in Chicago, and he got obliterated. Excuse me, going 5 innings, had 6 strikeouts, and gave up 4 earned runs. His worst game of the year. Oh, no, St. Louis was his worst game of the year. So what changes today? Well, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't watched my show, Philadelphia and the Astros soak their infield more than any other baseball stadium. What I mean by that is, if you look at the color of their dirt on the infield, it is mud brown, and where the infielders stand by the grass, it is light brown for 6 inches so their feet can be steady. When you soak the infield, you want to look to back ground ball pitchers. Framber Valdez is a fucking ground ball pitcher. And then when I look to back them, it's like, okay, do I want to back the outs, or do I want to back the team total under? And when we look at the White Sox today, their team total, like I said, it's probably going to be a 2.5 or a heavy juice, 3.5, but something we got to pull up and find out. DraftKings team totals. Yep. Plus money to the under 2.5 or minus 180 85 for the 3.5 alternate. So I don't know if I'm willing to bet a 2.5 versus this White Sox team. Granted, you know, it is get back day for Valdez as he had his worst game. And then he's at home where this guy just freaking deals. He's the second best ground ball pitcher in the game over the last 3 years, right next to Logan Webb. And he's got a ballpark met for that. Now, when you look at this batter versus history versus Valdez, it shows a lot of these guys hit this guy in like decent sample size. Austin Slater's batting 500, but he has 6 hits, all of them singles. Luis Roberts, guys, he's batting 300. He has 5 hits, 4 of them singles. Andrew Benintendi, decent 267. He has 4 hits, all singles. What I'm getting at is you can get a single, but we're going to get an easy fucking double play because he's a ground ball pitcher, guys. And when you soak the infield, you're going to get 108 off the bat, slow down to where you could turn to or get the out that normally would squeak through an infield. So Framer Valdez, guys, is going to have a game today. It's just, I don't know if I want to bet the under 2.5 earned runs. Maybe it's his outs as this dude does shine. Well, guys, I've freaking talked pretty much about every freaking guy that I've liked or talked about. This thing's going to have to just go on till he can get on and shut it off. I tried to carry it for another 10, 15, 20 minutes, but I got nothing else really to talk about. I'm going to go smoke a little weed. I'm going to wait for lineups. And like I said, I'm probably not waiting for lineups on Scooble. I'm going to look at the guys, the last few lefty lineups, and see who can be put in. And yeah, get in where you fit in today, fellas. Be safe. And have a blessed day, guys. You know, God bless, and may God willing we keep this thing freaking going, guys, and we keep it rolling.